Last month I released a video where I got every single retro achievement in Crash Bandicoot for the PS1. Now I set two goals after that video. One is for getting 100 subscribers on YouTube, and if I hit that, I will do an episode on Crash Bandicoot 2. The other one was for hitting a certain amount of views on that video, and it was hit. So today we're getting every single retro achievement in Crash Bandicoot The Huge Adventure for the Game Boy Advance. Now I didn't even know there were Crash games on the Game Boy Advance when I was a kid. In fact, it was only a few years ago that I learned this through a Cadicarus video. So I'm going into this with no experience in the game at all. Mine is playing through the first couple of levels as a test around about a year ago. The Huge Adventure was developed by Vicarious Visions, who would go on to develop a few other Crash handheld games before developing the excellent Insane Trilogy remake, as well as the brilliant Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 remakes, before they were rewarded by being merged into Blizzard in 2021, where they are now a support studio for Diablo 4. In my opinion, a huge lack of respect from Activision. It is mostly a 2D side-scrolling platformer with some 3D elements for the flying levels and the polar bear chase sequences, but it really does look like a Crash Bandicoot game, just on a smaller scale. So what's the story here? Well, this takes place after Crash 3, after Crash once again thwarts Cortex's plans. Cortex is pleading with Uka Uka to give him one more chance. He can change. He promises he will be better. Just don't kick him out. He's developed a device that will shrink the entire Earth into the size of a gumball, and he does it. He succeeds. Earth is now so small he can hold it in his hands. Cortex has won. Aku Aku brings this to Crash and Coco's attention after the now super giant Cortex gloats to the now super tiny population of the world. Coco comes up with a plan to stop him, but she needs 20 crystals to make this plan work, so it's Crash's job to find them all. There are 74 achievements in this game, and most of them are pretty much what you would expect from a Crash game. We had an achievement per level for getting the crystal and the gems in that level, plus a whole lot of time trial achievements, 2 per level for achieving the gold and platinum times. And my plan is to go through the game as standard, get every crystal and as many gems as possible, but I'm not going to stress about them too much in the first playthrough. Once I be in the game, I will clean up all the gems I don't have, and then I will worry about the time trials. I am scripting this before I start, and I am worried about the time trials. I'm not good at time trials in the console Crash games at all. I have never gotten a platinum relic in any game, so this could be interesting. Much like Crash Bandicoot 3, each warp room consists of 5 levels and a boss at the end. Unlike Crash 3, there are only 20 levels across 4 warp rooms. To beat the game, we just need the crystals, but if we break every crate in the level, we also get the gem. Some levels have a second gem that we either need to find, these are the color gems, or use the color gem to access a bonus path to reach the second gem. But for now, the crystals. So, let's get started, shall we? Level 1 is Jungle Jam, and it is a very straightforward, easy level with the jungle theme. To grab both the crystal and the gem here with no issues at all. A nice, lovely start. Shipwrecked is next, and it is our first underwater level, based on the swimming levels in Crash 3. This doesn't feel too bad. Crash controls well underwater, and you can press B for a little dash forward. We get an achievement here for getting an extra life after collecting 100 Wampa fruit. We also get the crystals and the gem in this one too. Temple of Boom is level 3, and is back to the jungle theme. This time we find a slightly hidden path near the end of the level, which takes us through a perilous route, but at the end was just the outline of a red gem. This means we're going to come back here when we get the red gem later on in the game. Sadly, I did not get the clear gem on my first try here. Frostbite Cavern is our first snow level of the game, where we have to deal with penguins, seals, ice physics, and a rampaging polar bear. An average Tuesday for a Crash Bandicoot. The polar bear chase is in 3D, but again it works really well on the GBA. This level is quite forgiving with plenty of Aku Aku masks, and the polar bear will break any box during the section that we miss. At the end I do have a silly death when the platform I'm supposed to jump to is slightly obscured by the foreground, so I just didn't see that there was a gap I had to jump over and just walked off to my doom. We got to level 5 just in slime to get what we came for, the crystal. Sadly, we could not get the gem here as I could not reach these 2 boxes, and I am unsure whether I need a power up or if I could have gotten it another way. Crikey, our first boss is Dingodile, who will walk across the ocean floor shooting rockets up to knock stalactites off the ceiling to try and attack us. However, When he gets to the left side of the arena, he will stop and let a stalactite hit his stupid head, and we get a free hit in to spin attack him. After we attack, a few sharks come in and we have to spin attack them away. Dingodile will repeat the pattern a couple of times until the obligatory 3 hits are done, and he is defeated. Warp Room 1 is done. Level 6 is Snow Crash. I did get both the gem and the crystal on this level, but there are 2 gems here. I did see the blue gem outline, so I know I will need to come back here. Or should I say, I'll need to come back here. We do get the Lively Bandicoot achievement for having 30 lives at one time. Rocket Racket is our first flying level, and it feels pretty good. You can hold down A to shoot straight ahead, and then you can press the shoulder buttons to dodge in that direction. Moving in these levels feels pretty smooth. We'll automatically move forward, so the task is to destroy and or dodge all the enemy planes and flying bombs on your way to Cordex's blimps. Once the logo with his face starts flashing, shooting it will deplete its health. And when you destroy it, you can progress through the level with a checkpoint. After we beat the 3rd blimp, the level ends. I had no issues with this level at all, and we come out of it with the achievement for both Crystal and Gem. We're just hanging out in this level, but it has 154 boxes, which is quite a lot. What I'm discovering in this game is that the bonus rounds can be tough. Luckily, we have unlimited retries of them, unless we hit the exit teleporter, so it may be tough, but we can keep trying until we get it right. We do end up missing a lot of boxes though, so no achievement on the first try for this level. Level 9 is Shark Attack. It is a nice small level with only 26 boxes to break, which are all easy to find, to ensure that we get the achievement first go around. We are not so lucky in Ruined, the final stage of this warp room. I tried to do this jump in the bonus stage quite a few times before I decided it's probably impossible right now, but maybe with the right power up. So instead we go fight Engine, which takes the flying level earlier and turns it into a boss fight. It's not too bad either, though his Gatling gun can really eat through Crash's health if we're not careful. Learning to dodge well does help avoid his attacks, but I am not careful and I die right at the end of the first attempt. On the second time we beat him, but I need a drink after that. Give me a Engine and tonic, please. The first level of the 3rd warp room is, Snow Job. Crash, please, I'm trying to keep these videos PG. What the fuck are you doing, you sake? Anyway, this is a good level to practice the double jump we got from Engine, as we can use it to be a bit more precise in our platforming, but also jump over enemies that annoy us. We even managed to get the gem in this level. Level 12 is the Ace of Space. Well, don't forget the Joker. Specifically the Joker, who decided this level needed to have 194 crates. Nearly 200 boxes? Now I did find the alternative route, but I was bleeding lives trying to get through it. To the point I do not think the double jump is quite enough to get the gem here. Luckily I know of a power up that might be. Sunken City is the next swimming level, and at the start of levels I sometimes remember to look behind me, because sometimes they hide stuff there. And lo and behold, there it was. The green gem, but it was stuck. We needed to progress through the level to find the switch box and then backtrack all the way back to the start of the level, activate the TNT so we can open up the path to get the green gem. I also managed to get the regular gem, which means we get our achievement alongside our very first color gem. Down in the Holes bonus stage has a wee puzzle to it, and especially the first time through it's easy to lose access to a certain box. When you get to this section you need to run all the way past the switch, making sure to only bounce on the crate once. Get the box in the middle of the section that will be covered up by metal crates once we press the switch. And then you can run back, activate the switch, and ignore the rest of the crates to go back to where you were, again only bounce on the crate the one time. Get that crate, but be warned, when you return to the right, the bouncy crate will immediately break, but should still grant you the passage to the rest of the bonus. Despite all that, I still missed something in this level, likely the nitro switch, so I didn't get the gem. Blimp Bonanza is the final level of this world, and it is a very chaotic level. I imagine this will be a pain to do for the time relics later on, trying to do this whole level without dying. There are a lot more enemies in this flying level, and while there is plenty of health to make up for it, I found it hard to dodge enemies while aiming for crates, and I ended up missing an early one. I decided to finish the level and come back later, rather than intentionally die or restart the level. The third boss is one of my favourite Crash characters. It's Tiny! Which is fitting for this game, where everything is tiny. Tiny will just jump from platform to platform. I can't tell if he just jumps to the platform currently on, or if he has a set pattern, but once I figured out I could just jump between two platforms for each of his phases, he was easy enough to take down. His reward is the Tornado Spin! This will let us travel between big distances by constantly spinning in the air or on the ground. The last warp room starts with start to finish. We do not get the red gem that is here, but we do get everything else, which means we get the achievement. In air supply, we are definitely not all out of love with swimming, as we go through it fairly easily and get the gem here as well. No Fly Zone is level 18, and it is the most chaotic flying level yet. I'm going to have a hard time trying to get the relic in this level, but I'm also going to have to take some time to get the gem because I missed a crate or two on my way to the crystal. The bonus level in Drip Trip Trip is infuriating for me. Not only is there another case of having to go forward in the bonus level and then head back, but there is also a crate way above the level that is easy to miss, both in the sense that it's hard to see, but also if you physically miss it, there is no way back up there. I finally got it, but then ended up with one box missing in the bonus. I assumed this was a nitro, forgetting that I banged my head on them earlier, which blew both of these up, and I moved on. Naturally, I missed the gem by just one crate. Annoying, but it's my own fault. The final level is the final countdown, but I missed some of the early crates and decided, let's just get to the end. Fairly easy level, except this jump for some reason. Still, we'll be back to grab the gem later on. Now it's time for the final showdown with Cortex. He is trying to use his planetary minimizer and Crash, I guess to make him even tinier. But also, didn't Cortex already make the whole planet small? Did he minimize himself just so he could fight Crash? You know what, let's not focus too much on the story of a Crash Bandicoot game. We gotta beat up Cortex. This is another fairly easy boss. You just avoid his hits. The pattern is very easy to figure out. He always shoots across the room left to right to left again. Once he's done that, the platforms to the gems will turn green, stand on them, and Cortex will charge his laser. As soon as the cursor turns solidly red, move out of the way, and Cortex will hit the gem. Cortex's patterns get a little more erratic per phase, but it's really easy to avoid, and after the third gem has been hit, the planet returns to its normal size, and the planetary minimizer has been destroyed. However, the danger is not over, as we will still need all the gems and relics to get the true ending. We will start with the colour gems since we'll need them to unlock bonus gem paths. Although, a quick aside, while I was going through Ruined, I discovered something really embarrassing. I only just learned how to slide attack. The silly little gecko enemy that you need to kill with the slide attack, I've been killing them via splash damage from the slam attack this whole time. I beat the whole damn game without knowing I had this damn slide attack. I even wondered during the initial playthrough how come they took out the slide jump. Guys, I'm so stupid. But let's not slide into despair. Let's get these gems. The bonus stage on Ruined is way easier with the double jump, and the blue gem is on a hidden path. Once you get to the nitro switch, you can tornado spin to the left, then just go platform to platform until you see the blue gem, grab it and finish the level. The red gem is in start to finish, and is again on a hidden path. The metal exclamation switch marks the spot, but do not activate it. Instead, go down what looks like a bottomless pit, and you'll find a little platform section that leads to the red gem. It can be hard to see since it looks like a normal bottomless pit, so why the hell would I choose to go down there unless I knew the gem was there? It doesn't matter, we grab the red gem, and we move on. So the next day I went to grab the yellow gem in Final Countdown, but for whatever reason I went to start to finish instead, but this actually paid off, as this is where I finally get the achievement for getting to the triple Aku Aku masks and becoming temporarily invincible. Again, I beat the whole game without getting triple Aku Aku masks. You can tell that I've never played this game before. The yellow gem in Final Countdown is a bit tricky to get to. Progress through the level until you see this wall of nitro and a spinny fan launch pad thingy beside it. Instead of going over the nitro crates, use the fan to launch Crash to the left, where you do a little platforming section until the bounce crate. Now I struggled with this for a while. I eventually did it by pressing jump the split second Crash bounces on the crate to get the extra height, immediately pressing left, and then double jumping at the apex of the jump, and then immediately hitting the tornado spin over to the yellow gem. I was able to do this consistently after a wee while, but it took me a good few attempts to get the gem. I still did not get the proper gem for this level either, but we'll save this one for last. We now have all the color gems, so now we can clean up the rest of them, starting with Temple of Boom, has this hard to see hidden area. We can go down to get 3 boxes. You really got to make sure you have your eyes on to see it, but you can see a slither of a step. The red gem path is a little hard. There are 2 paths here, and don't do what I did and go up first, because that leads to the end of the gem path, but without the gem. Gotta go left first, then backtrack to the up path, and then to the exit. It's not too terrible, but it definitely annoyed me that I went the wrong way first. Justin Slime's gem was easy enough to get now that I have power-ups, but Snow Crash was no easy task to get to the blue gem path. So you have to bounce on this penguin over to the platform that takes you to the blue gem teleporter, but I just was not getting it right. I eventually realized my mistake after I looked at a long play. I was trying to wait until the penguin was basically right underneath the edge of the platform before trying to double jump off him. The best thing is to actually do it while he's still about 3/4 of the way to the left. And with the double jump to the left, Crash will make enough air to land safely on the platform. The gem path itself is difficult as well. A few of the drops will have an enemy waiting at the bottom, ready to eat your life away. There are plenty of crushers, and some pretty precise platforming. It took some practice, but eventually I was able to get through it. It isn't too long, but the challenge is decent. Maybe a little too trial and error for my taste, but definitely a challenge to overcome to get the gem. The green gem path is just hanging around over the end of the level. Jump over the level exit and you'll see the gem platform. A double jump tornado spin later and we're there. This one acts as an extension of the level, with more crates to destroy, so we can get our 2 gems here. There's a section where we have to drop down the level to get more boxes, after which I would forget to backtrack to grab a few boxes left from the other path. So I had to make a note to go back and grab those, and then proceed from there. This isn't too difficult, and it is a nice addition to the level. However, I got to the very end of this and had 1 crate missing. Well, I wasn't going to stand for this, so instead I started running all the way back through the level, hoping the extra box was not in a bonus or gem path. We cannot access bonuses once we're done with them, unless we completely reset the level. Luckily, I found a lone TNT crate, which means we get out of this level with both gems. I go through Ace of Space until this little tricky platform section underneath the normal level, and arrive at the yellow gem teleporter, and it's not active. But I got the yellow gem. I can see the achievement stream tracker on the right. So where is it? When is it? Where did it come from? Where did it go? Where did it come from? Yellow Gem Joe. Turns out I didn't save after getting it the first time, so we go through all that again. This time it goes much smoother, and then save the game immediately. A little PSA for y'all: when playing games with the autosaves, remember IBS. IB saving. Just remember IBS, and you won't have to worry about losing progress. When we eventually get to the yellow gem path, it is a fun little auto-scroller where Crash rides his motorcycle. But where does he ride it? Hit it, Tim Curry. Space! It's easy enough to grab all the crates, and there are plenty of Aku masks. So even if we bump our head on a nitro crate or 2, it's easy enough to survive. However, I had to do this twice because of the first time I forgot to backtrack to get 3 crates above the yellow gem path. We also get the achievement for stockpiling 60 lives. Down in the holes gem is easy enough, except the nitro switch is half hidden in the bushes, high up on the screen. If you're not actively looking up there, it just blends in with the background. Those pranksters have vicarious visions, what are they like? The 2 harder flying levels are actually easy enough to get the gems on. I was not concerned about losing lives in my effort to get all the boxes, as long as I had enough health to make it to the end of the blimp fights, which gives you a checkpoint every time you beat one. So I would sacrifice my health to make sure I got all the boxes, and if I died, great! I started back from the last checkpoint with full health anyway, so I made getting the gems in these levels nice and easy. The bonus stage for Drip 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 is still pretty hard, but it is much easier with the power-ups, and we do eventually get through it after many attempts. And luckily the rest of the level goes well, and we also get the achievement for stockpiling 90 lives in this level too. The final countdown. It's time to finally get this gem. The main thing that prevented me from getting it before was the bonus stage, specifically the final jump over this row of nitro crates. It is a very difficult jump to cross, even with a tornado spin. Using my newfound knowledge that there is a slide in the game, I figured there is probably a slide jump too. Doing that into a double jump and then spin tornadoing over the crates did the trick for me, and we finally get our final gem of the game. However, in this game we also need to get relics. Introduced in Crash Bandicoot 3, these collectibles are prizes for completing time trials. There are 3 relics to get, each one with an increasingly difficult time attached to it: Sapphire, Gold, and Platinum. For the full completion of the game, we only need the Gold relics, but for the achievements, we need to get the Platinum as well. We get an achievement per level for every Gold and Platinum relic we get, which makes up 40 of the 74 achievements needed to master this game. For the benefit of video length, I will not go into a level by level breakdown of this, but the first 10 levels it really wasn't too bad. As I mentioned earlier, I never get Platinum relics in Crash 3 of the N8 trilogy, so I really thought this was going to be a struggle, but in some cases I was getting the Platinum relic on the first try. That good feeling ended with Snow Job, which became so hard and I sucked so much. I really tried to come first, but instead I just couldn't finish. I was feeling a bit salty, so I decided to try other levels and I'd come back later. For the flying levels, I noticed I needed to shoot the actual crates and not the balloons it was attached to, or the time bonus wouldn't count. Also, as soon as the blimps are able to be damaged, I focused solely on them. This does mean needing a lot of health coming into these fights in the latter levels, but I found trying to destroy any other enemies still on screen by this point cost me too much time. Drip times 3 was a struggle, but after an hour I got my first successful attempt, and was a 10th off the Platinum. We get it on the second try though. Final Countdown was another one I had to take the struggle boss on, mainly due to how much certain enemies and obstacles seem to be at different stages every run. This jump over the nitro wall caused me to fall directly onto spikes, because you cannot see the spike enemies before you commit to the spinny jump pad thingy. You can mitigate this by going over the fan and then waiting to see the spikes go away, but that wastes time. I only finished 2 runs of this. One was worth the gold and the other was the platinum. Keeping the Aku mask to eat these nitro crates so you don't have to crawl through them is a godsend. I ended up back at Snow Job, which wasn't too bad in the end actually. Took me a few tries, but once I got past the polar section once, it gave me the confidence to get through it a couple more times, till I ended up on the exit platform with the final platinum relic I needed for victory. Now I will put out a companion video next week with all my successful platinum relic attempts, but if you attempt to get all the platinum relics in the huge adventure, please know that you do not need to be perfect. You can make a mistake or two and still get the platinum. Hell, sometimes being a little careful is better than trying to rush through everything. It is very possible to do this, even if you're not fully confident in your side-scrolling Crash skills. I'm not good at this game at all. I was able to do it, so you can too. The last thing we need to do is kick Dr. Neo Cortex's ass once again, and get the true ending. Oh. Well, that was unexpected. Now we have to run away from a monster that has combined Cortex, Tiny, Engine, and Dingodile. We'll call them Cortinginodile. Or a MegaMix is fine too, I guess. We just have to run away through a fairly treacherous level. We cannot stop for too long, otherwise MegaMix will get us and eat us and possibly assimilate us. I'm not sure on that last one, but I don't want to risk it because I don't want to be stuck with those guys forever. So let's do this. This does act like a regular level, so if you are struggling like I did, after a few failed attempts, you will get an Aku Aku mask on spawn to go with the other masks you get early on. This isn't a super long level, but there are no checkpoints. After about a dozen deaths, I learned when to jump, when to spin, and when to win. So we get to the very end of Crash Bandicoot, The Huge Adventure.
What have I got?
Crash Bandicoot The Huge Adventure on the Game Boy Advance is a great little video game. Vicarious Visions did a fantastic job in bringing the true Crash experience to the GBA. Even after turning it into a side-scrolling platformer, Crash plays exactly how you imagine he would based on PS1 games, and overall I think it is impressive what they were able to do here. This game honestly looks good for the system. I wish there was maybe one or two other themes for levels, and maybe some that are more unique to this game rather than being based on level themes from Crash 2 and 3, but that's a nitpick. I do enjoy the levels on a casual level. When going for the 101% completion, it can be a bit tough. Enemies like to change their cycle when you least expect them to. There are some jumps where you basically have to do a leap of faith. There are some hidden paths down areas that otherwise look like a bottomless pit if you don't know it's there. And overall, the time trials are mostly fine, but they come with the same problem I have with them on the main games. Some of these levels are not built to be time trialed, such as the flying levels. Sometimes when trying to rush through a level, it feels like the controls sometimes decide it won't double jump over a pit, or won't tornado spin high enough to make it to the gem, or the next platform, or avoiding a nitro grate. Most of the time it works fine, so it most likely is user error, but it is so frustrating when it happens. The achievement set is great, no complaints. It has you do everything in the game without any missable achievements, so no real stress trying to get them all. I enjoyed getting all these achievements and I feel like I truly earned this badge. Overall, I think Crash Bandicoot The Huge Adventure is a game worth playing if you like Crash games and or side-scrolling platformers. The median time to master the set is currently 10.5 hours. I did it in 18 hours. However, as someone who didn't even know this game existed until a few years ago, I can safely say that if I had this game as a kid, I would have loved it. It is a really good game, and I recommend playing it if you haven't done so before, and if you have, the Retro Achievement set will test your skills. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. As mentioned before, I am on a mission to get to 100 subs, and when I reach it, I will do a video on mastering Crash Bandicoot 2. I will livestream my progress on Twitch, which you can find with the username ps_stew. If you want to see more Crash, please subscribe. If you like this video, feel free to give it that old thumbs up, and comment below if there are any other games you want to see be tackled on this channel. I would love to do more GBA games. I feel like it's a console that I missed a lot of good stuff on. Until next video, I must let you know, it is urgent that I let you know that you are awesome, and you should never forget it. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will hopefully see you soon. Bye!